Hi guys, Boise here, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to set up the map from the very beginning and how to set up an airfield with some multiplayer spawn points on it. When you first load up the mission builder, you'll be presented with a blank screen, and you simply go File, Load Map and choose which one you wish to work with. In this case it's English Channel 1940 Summer. Okay, so that's done. And what you'll be presented with here is a grid, and this will show the battle area with all the grid references you'll be familiar with in game. You can drag it and move it and have it over a certain patch of the map, but I prefer to have it set up to cover the whole map, to be honest. So to change that, you go Edit and then Battle Area, and the settings I use are as follows: left there, bottom edge there, width like so, height like so, and then the sector like so. And we'll close that down, so you'll see that sort of covers the whole map, which is sort of better and consistent, so no matter where you are on the map of which mission, it should all be the same. Okay, well let's get an airfield set up. So I'm just going to zoom in here and get a closer look of where we're going to go. Hydroquent airfield, which you'll probably notice I use all the time. We use that in our campaign. That's a base I'm familiar with. Okay, so we've zoomed in here. We've got Hydroquent here. This is a dead airfield at the moment, if you will. If you went to a multiplayer server, you couldn't join it or anything. But we can show you how to get that set up. So what you do here, as with anything in the editor, go View, Object Browser, and you want to select Airfield. Now it will default here aerodrome runways, that's fine, keep that selected, and left click, left control, and there she is. Okay, so you'll see that puts some radius rings around the airfield, and you'll see this flashing 0 here. That's what we use to create the origin for spawn points. So I'm just going to move that over here for now, and just going to click on the airfield icon again. So you'll see you've got these flashing radius rings. I want to go here to airfield, and we can change the radius of those rings for the capture radius and the airdrome radius. I'm just going to tighten it up a little bit. Change both to 500, and of course you can select the army here as well. So we want it to be blue for the Luftwaffe. Okay, right, so I'm going to unselect that. So you see here we've got a blue airfield selected, and we've got this 0 airdrome point. Now we're going to use that to create the spawn point. So it isn't a spawn point in itself, but it's more of an anchor, more of an origin, if you will. But I'll show you how to do that. So what you do is you select it so it's flashing, and then you hold down Control, put your cursor where you want your first point, and press B, and you'll see the number 1 there. Now that isn't the spawn point, that's where the aircraft will face, so we need to do it again to get the spawn point. So Control B, and there we go. So I'm just going to unselect that and explain that to you. So we've got the origin point here, we've got the spawn point here, and where the aircraft will be facing once it's spawned in. So you could have it over here and be facing this way, you could have it over here and be facing that way, but of course we want to have it facing that way towards the runway so that we can taxi nicely from there. Unselect. Now you're going to want more than one, of course, so to add additional ones you click on the airdrome point again, and once again Control B, Control B. You'll notice that the numbers have moved there, but it seems to put the most recent one as the lower numbers, but the principle's the same still. So 4 is where the aircraft will spawn in, 3 is where it will face, 2 is the spawn in, 1 is where it will face. And you can move these and play about with them. Unselect that, and we'll do one more for good measure. Control B, Control B, and unselect. So each of the higher number here is the spawn point, and the lower number is the direction the aircraft will be facing in. Okay, so we've done that now. We're going to click on airfield again, and make sure it's airdrome runways again. And left control, left click, and you should see a blue runway appear, or the outline of one. We use this to set up the runway on the airfield. Now you don't have to use this. I know some people just shrink it down to nothing and toss it aside in a corner somewhere, but in effect it will just put the yellow pallets along the runway that you'll see sometimes in multiplayer. So if you press the numpad here, 7, 9, You can move it around and get it about right. That's close enough. And on here you'll see a runway tab. You can make a different length runway. Let's take it to 900. You'll notice it shortens a bit. Move it around there. Okay, that's fine. So that's set up. So just to recap, so we've got it set for Army Blue. We tightened the radius a bit and we've set up the runway, so that's good. Okay, so our next point here, so we've got to say the threads here for where the aircraft will spawn. We've got the airfield set up as a blue one, and we've got the runway set up. We now need to set up spawn area and tell the computer what aircraft can spawn here and what height and so on and so forth. So once again, go View, Object Browser, and we want to select Spawn Area. And once again, left control, left click, and you'll see that flashing nicely there. Now these tabs here, we need to work on these. So Spawn Area, click that first, and you can give it a name. I'm going to call 5./JG26, and once you're on the multiplayer map select screen, you'll hover over the spawn point and it will give you that name. It just looks a bit better. And of course we want to select it as blue. Don't worry about the armies here because it's got any. We're selecting it as blue, so either Germany or Italy could be there hypothetically. This is important. The height needs to be 0 for a ground spawn, obviously. Maximum number of planes, just put 50 in. I'm not going to have any more than that there. That's fine. Tick parachute. We want to have our guys to have parachutes, and of course we want to have them spawn part as it's a ground spawn. Okay, so the last tab here is setting up the aircraft that are going to be able to spawn there. Now I'm just going to delete all of them, so we'll move them all over here. So we'll only select the ones we want and put them over here. So let's go for a 109E1, add, and a 109E4, add. Okay, close that down and unselect. Okay, so we've put the threads here of where the aircraft can go. We've set it up as a blue airfield, set the runway. We've told the computer what can spawn there and at what height. So we're going to save that now, and then we're going to set up a simple quick server and see if it works. Okay, so we've created in at the airfield, and I'll go to external view to show you, but as you can see we're more or less where we set up the spawn points. Let's go to external. There we go. So we're this side of the runway, the right distance, and that is how you set up a multiplayer spawn area and airfield.